Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Formula One fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Fastest Podcast. I am, of course, as always, joined by two guests. This time, it's two guests that you have already met before, but I fear it will be my least favourite pairing. It is Dogra from before, and of
Hi.
course, the man who will simply go by Pigeon.
Hi everyone.
And of course, as you all know by now, this is the exact same podcast that discusses everything from the greatest overtakes to the fastest pit stops. But what I will start with, a bit more chill. We've had qualifying, we've had the sprint race today, but I want to ask you a question. So the drivers, they have everything done for them. Superstars, they have chefs and masseuses and their own personal trainers. But to put yourself in a team principal's point of view, let's say you're Laurent Mekies. You've just been to the factory, you've come home. What are you having for your dinner? This is what I want to know. What does a team principal have for their dinner? Either one of you.
Other teams' points.
Yeah?
I mean, if I'd be Mekis, you go from V carb to Red Bull, I'd be ordering the fattest steak you can get, because he has to have like a smile on his face that you just can't measure. Verstappen gets the win in the sprint race, fighting off two dominant McLarens, and then you go to qualifying, and there's four of your cars, all of them in Q3 for the first time this season. You just can't top that. It's amazing.
Yeah, and he's finally seen improvement from Tsunoda as well.
I couldn't legally answer the word steak because, cows.
That's fair enough. We could have beeped out, but
I mean, only from him though.
yeah, we can mention it. We're fine. But there is one person who unfortunately didn't improve. A backward step, you'd say. Lewis Hamilton. Pigeon, take us away on that.
I mean, he did improve. It's just not by much. It went from P18 to P16. Yesterday was a spin, which was a weird moment. Then in the race, he could get up a little bit, show some pace from his car, but then in qualifying today, he was through initially into P8, I think, and then a track limit just knocked him out. We've seen it from Piastri yesterday.
Millimeters.
As you can see, it happens to the best of us, Shame, but it happens.
Yeah, and it's you do have to wonder what is it in this Ferrari, because you saw Leclerc, he went P3, he overtook Norris off the start in the sprint race as well. He's obviously having a good time with it. Is there new parts on the car or something? What isn't clicking for him, Dogra?
This is something that I saw a meme about on Twitter. It was the Ferrari are currently 007, which is 0 wins, 0 podiums, and 7 upgrades that failed. But I feel like this particular upgrade was, you saw both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc struggling, with Leclerc even saying that this is P4 was the best he could pull out of that car, which is saying a lot, because you don't hear a driver say that this is the best they can do. You're usually like, I can improve. But like Leclerc said, this is the best that this car can manage, which is very, very... It's not something you'd like to hear as a Ferrari fan after they brought in upgrades. And seeing Lewis Hamilton in the back markers was just such a shame. Except even after he pulled off that amazing last lap and just had that wheel outside that zone and then just got his lap time deleted. I saw there were I think there were 3 Ferrari pages that immediately celebrated Lewis Hamilton getting to Q2, and then the comments were like, early celebration, man. I think it was even with me and Pigeon on call when we were watching the race together. It was, I think I was all happy, and then he suddenly screams, Lewis Hamilton got his lap time deleted. I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And it was just such a blow to my, Ferrari fanness.
I mean, I think for the upgrades this year, I mean, everyone's still bringing upgrades to their car at this point in the season. So, I mean, they are improving their car, their base car. It gets easier to drive. Which, as you said, Leclerc finally has a lap, which he is very proud of in this car.
Yeah.
But everyone else is upgrading as well. So everyone gets quicker. You just get quicker more easily. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame for Hamilton. I'm happy for Leclerc. He gets to start P3 at a track he really enjoys. He's done well in the past. Yeah, I mean, let's see what tomorrow brings, for them. If it rains, I see Hamilton going forward pretty quickly, Otherwise, it might be a bit more of a difficult race for him, but yeah. We'll see
Yeah, I
what
mean,
Ferrari can bring tomorrow.
yeah, you hope he's going to do better. He's getting to grips with the car, he said, and as you said, a very unfortunate kind of incident to exceed track limits, and it was millimeters, but that's all it takes in Formula One, as we know. Obviously, Leclerc finally, as you said, getting a good lap in, so he did improve. The car is improving and getting easier, but then you look sort of 6 months plus ago, towards the end of last season, they were competing for a constructors championship, and now that they can barely get two cars into Q3. Sometimes they're not competing for wins or even podiums. You wonder where the drop has come from, and it's not where you want to see Ferrari. It's not where you want to see Lewis Hamilton as a seven-time world champion either. So yeah, we hope that they improve. As you said, rain tomorrow. Lewis Hamilton flies forwards. You need experience around Belgium anyway, but you need experience in the wet around Belgium. So it will definitely be an interesting race, won't it, guys?
I mean, I think that confidence that Leclerc showed is really going to help him. Um, you know, in the wet, you need confidence. If anything, you need confidence, and that will really help him. Um, Hamilton the same. I think he was pretty comfortable in the car, just didn't put it together in the end.
Yeah, for sure. But moving to the other end of the grid, Lewis Hamilton starting 16th and started 18th for the sprint race. Speaking of the sprint race, the McLaren battle. Oscar Piastri versus Lando Norris. It's been going on for a while. My only question to you is, start with you, Dogra. Is it too nice?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I remember when Perez and Verstappen were fighting each other in 2023, and you saw both of them going for each other a lot of the times. Especially like Verstappen and Perez, he didn't hold back at all. You just see him dive bombing, you see him doing the old switcheroo, and you see him trying everything to get ahead. I feel like McLaren is lacking that to some degree, but if I think they're also trying to avoid that situation where they don't want a messy rivalry battle on their hands, lest it cost them their entire championship. So I feel like they're playing safe, but might have gotten a little bit too safe to the point that it's a boring race to watch between the two McLarens. That is.
Yeah. Pigeon?
I think the race for the McLarens was basically unwatchable. They just drove behind one another for the entire race. Didn't try and move once. And especially in F1, your most fierce rival is your teammate. It's the only one who has the same car.
Yeah.
I feel like they're battling Verstappen much harder than each other because they're so afraid to come together. Yeah, I mean, they're the main contenders for the title. And as we progress into the season, they're going to have to take the gloves off, man. Yeah, just try anything.
Yeah, I mean, you look back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you look back to the last major inter-team fight, and it was back when it was Rosberg versus Hamilton in the Mercedes. They were at it all the time. The cool-down room, they were having scraps, and that was making the news and the headlines. They had crashes on track, and they really didn't like each other, even to the point that Toto Wolff was saying that there was so much inter-team fierce rivalry going on that their relationship was unfixable. You look at Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, their relationship is on good terms. And then you've got 12 races to go, plus a couple of sprints. And you're looking at the two of them driving against each other, racing against each other. They're not racing hard. They're not trying to it doesn't seem like they're giving 100% into this championship battle. It seems like they're giving 75% and making sure that they don't crash. And while you look at it now and you think it's so close, you don't want to crash, you don't want to lose out 25 points or 18 points and drop all of that to your teammate when you can just drop 7. But at what point in this season do they go, I want this championship? And they go 100%, 110, 120, and they make that dive bomb, they make that lungy move to try and get those extra 7 points, even if it's on Verstappen or if it's on each other. At what point do they start saying, I want this and I'm going to go for it?
I mean, I think especially this year, where we've seen overtaking being so difficult, especially if we're not in clean air. The only way to really get past anyone is forcing them into a mistake, like you saw Piastri do in Miami on Verstappen. Yeah, that's the way you can overtake this year. Putting the pressure on, showing your face, getting in kind of in the other driver's head, and then trying for a pass and hope they make a mistake. I think we saw Norris re-overtake Leclerc after he lost P3 at the start. Of course, they were both in dirty air, so the DRS works better. But yeah, we haven't seen any move from any of the drivers trying to make a mistake. And yeah, I think that's really what they need to start doing. Not even trying to overtake, but showing that you're there and trying to push the other driver to go quicker, maybe quicker than they actually can, and have them make a mistake and maybe dropping back a couple places in doing so. That's how you're going to win this championship. Not being nice.
Yeah, and I think that stems back to just how the 2025 cars are at the moment. And what we hope the new regulations are going to fix is that you can't follow closely. You saw Piastri was close to Verstappen, and as soon as he came up Eau Rouge or out of the bus stop, he dropped so much time. Out of turn 1, he dropped time, and it compromised his run up through Eau Rouge and down the Kemmel Straight. And it's all of these elements within the 2025 cars that you're probably looking at, and this is a big contributing factor as to why they're maybe not able to make the moves, because they just can't get close enough to her.
I feel like that not all of everybody has the same Verstappen mentality. Admittedly, the races have been quite boring, especially when the tracks are far smaller than they should be for the cars that we are currently driving. And it's not, I don't think it's the driver's fault either. It's just the front car, the car that gets clean air, just, you know, you can just wave it in the distance and it's just gone. Then you have the cars in the dirty air which are just unable to keep up, and then when you want to actually overtake, there's just no space lest you both crash, which obviously is not the ideal result for anyone. So I feel like it's not just about the fact that drivers cannot are not risking it. It's just the fact that they cannot risk it, because otherwise they ruin not just theirs but the people they collide with, both of their races. Uh, I feel like the next year's regulations might improve the situation a bit. Highly unlikely, unless the new regulations actually force combat during turns instead of just like straight line overtakes. But I I like to see them in action before I can make a decision.
I mean, I think getting rid of DRS is one of the big things that's changing next year with the extra modes on straight line. They might change something up, but at this point, clean air is about as valuable as DRS, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, and you see cars purposely dropping back at the moment just to have clean air, so it makes it easier for them, and it's not what you want to see in racing. So that's obviously where it comes into, like you said, Pigeon, you're trying to force a driver to make a mistake rather than actually try and make the move yourself. That's the way that you gain points. And speaking of gaining, Yuki Tsunoda's gain time. Don't know where he's pulled it from, but he was actually around about 3/10 behind Verstappen, which is what he was brought in for. So if you're Laura Mekies, you've had a Red Bull Verstappen winner, and the second seat has finally, in your first qualifying session, actually come close to Verstappen. So what's happened there? Has the car kind of come back to him a bit? with Mekis, or is he just suddenly turned good over the few weeks we've had off and come into Belgian Dogra?
I don't know, man, but it was very, really positive to see all the Red Bull cars, all four of them in the top 10. And it's especially good for Hadjar and Lawson. But for Yuki, this comes off as respite from the constant belittling he has been facing over social media about, being the worst driver in the second seat and everything. I, j- it might not be just Mickey's, but I feel like that he might have brought up on a positive nature that maybe Horner was not able to bring on due to all the things that were going on in the background at the Red Bull garage. So it's mostly about Mickey's bringing a new fresh coat of paint over Red Bull. Everybody has different opinions, different moods, completely different, you know, thinking coming into the race, and then you see UK pulling off those times, and you wonder as Red Bull fans, you're like, is Mackey's actually bringing a positive effect, or is this just a one-time fluke? But I hope this trend continues. I really want to see Yuki actually score points and just not be stuck with the back markers. And both Lawson and Hadjar. I mean, Hadjar has been exceptional this entire season, but even Lawson getting that respite that he needed after being kicked off in just two races and everything.
Yeah, definitely, and it's nice to see that. Hopefully Yuki's such a love driver. Hopefully now Yuki's going to be able to, as you said, push on. And if he's still 3-4 tenths off Verstappen per race in qualifying, it's still top 10 for him.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's still points for him in the race. And we can hopefully see him keep his seat, because I know there's been a few murmurs that he's not going to keep his seat. And obviously nobody wants Yuki to be taken off the grid. He is, as I said, a loved driver. You said there Lawson as well, improved into Q3. Again, another Q3 appearance. He's been doing a lot better. So, Pigeon, my question to you is, Lawson or Tsunoda, or maybe not the comparison between the both, with Tsunoda now improving, we've seen Lawson's true talent in the RB. What's going on there?
I mean, me and Dogra were watching the session live, of course. We were just ecstatic about 4 Red Bull cars in the top 10. Yeah, you just love to see it, and I don't think you can actually draw a comparison between the two. Both have been doing well in the Racing Bulls car. That Red Bull seat, you just can't really compare it. But I do love to see Tsunoda finally showing some pace, showing close to Verstappen. I think they both have a good shot, but it's just that Red Bull car needs to be improved upon, needs to be balanced. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't score in a car that's not balanced,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think at Spa, it's a track every driver loves, knows, wants to drive at. You just see that the knowledge comes forward in Yuki, and you love to see it,
Yeah, and I think there was no secret that Horner always favoured Verstappen. So hopefully in the next few races we'll see him keep up this trend with a maybe not so team boss favouring one driver. It might help Yuki's confidence a little bit going forwards as well. But my confidence is now about to be on the floor. I don't know if anyone saw in the last podcast, we done a few predictions. I had Dan and I had Ash on, and we done a top 3 prediction for the race tomorrow. I think it might have been a sprint race. I can't remember. And me, well, I put Lance Stroll in the podium. And I can see on my screen that these other two are laughing. So I'm going to keep quiet and I'm going to let these guys take it away.
I mean, that's going to be one hell of a race, P20 to P3. Honestly, I want to see it, I want to see it.
If he pulls it off, that's the move of the century.
If there's rain, he can.
Yeah, he channels his Ayrton Senna for some reason whenever it rains. I don't know why. I mean, even during the sprint, I think he pulled off an amazing move in the first turn. I think that's how he gained 2 positions. I think he gained the first one there, and then he would have Alonso somewhere or the other. But you see him going straight, and then just makes a cut into the right, and you're like, okay, that nobody saw that coming. That was impressive. I had Pigeon exclusively see that clip. and he refused to comment on it.
Still do.
I think that might call a time on that conversation then.
I mean, we have seen Stroll pull some moves. We've seen it in Monaco. He made one of the overtakes that we saw there the entire race. We've seen him be good in the wet in the past. Brazil 2024 excluded, of course. And, he has some good talent. He just doesn't always show it. And
Hasn't got the attitude there.
yeah, I mean, in F1, you need to be consistent, you need to be fast, and you need to pull moves that will get you on the big screen, He just doesn't. And he has gotten some good points this year. Alonso was not scoring at the start of the season, and Stroll picked up a couple of good places. Also, I think in Australia, in the wet, he also did pretty well.
Yeah.
He just kind of flies under the radar sometimes, but that's okay. That's how you get to the big points. But yeah, I don't know what he'll do. P20 is a pretty hard one. But I'd love to see him get on the podium. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, with rain, literally anything can happen.
We could also get a repeat of 2021, to be honest. So
yeah, I mean that means he wouldn't get a podium. So let's hope not, because I want my prediction to be correct in some way. What is the chance of rain for tomorrow as well?
55?
I think it's 40%.
I thought it was 55.
Is there? I thought it was 80. So we're all saying different things.
I mean, forecast these days.
Let me just look it up then.
But the problem, Belgium, if it rains, it pours. So if there's rain, it will drench the track, and you'll end up, if it's before the race, you'll end up with a safety car start, and if it's after the start, you end up with a safety car.
When is the race at the local time? Is it 11?
It's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 3 o'clock local time.
3 o'clock local time. That's about 80% chance of rain.
Yeah.
80?
Yeah.
Where are you getting your info from, mate?
Hey, just Google. Come on, don't blame me.
Don't blame Google on it either.
I mean, 80% chance. That's actually a pretty good one. The thing is, we have Formula 3, Formula 2, and F1 all driving.
Yeah.
If either of those races get cancelled, that really reduces the chances of a race for F1.
Yeah.
Because if it kind of drizzles the entire day, then it should be fine. If we get showers, as you said, it's very difficult to dry that track. And with the elevation changes as well, water
especially
on the track.
Especially at Eau Rouge, I think it's a bank on both the sides, so the water likes to collect on the bottom, and then it just becomes an issue.
It's the danger element of the track.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with it, but 80% chance. And as I said, if it rains, it pours. So you could end up with safety car start, safety cars out in the race for rain, red flags, puddles at the bottom of Eau Rouge and at the bottom of other hills, and
a strong masterclass.
And a strong masterclass. We'll be in there. Mark my words. I said it for a reason.
I mean, if you are right, you're going to be the legend of FPS, to be honest.
It's going down in FPS history. It's being pinned to the Twitter page. Link in the description.
Yeah.
And
also,
then
I wish to go out to Pascal, who is trackside this weekend.
Yeah, best of luck to him with the rain tomorrow. We're thinking of you.
But I think if Stroll gets on the podium, we see 50% of FPS members committing suicide.
Nah, not that bad, but I mean, the real question is, if Stroll makes it onto the podium, who in the hell are the other two?
Oh, well, me and Dogger have already given our top three in previous episodes. So, Pigeon, this one's on you. What's your top three for tomorrow?
I mean, if we go all in on the Stroll podium, I'd put him at P3.
Not a Stroll win? Don't fancy that one?
I'm crazy, not delusional. I mean, setups are good. It's predicted. I'd go for Verstappen. Maybe Gasly can get in there. He's been pretty good in the wet. And then Stroll.
You're just biased towards Verstappen.
I mean, yes, but also, can't count him out, as we saw today. Do you guys want to change your podiums, given we're after qualifying?
I don't think I'm allowed to. I think I've put Stroll in. My punishment is I have to keep my podium prediction.
Yeah, but okay, Stroll is done, but the other two.
I forgot what I said, but I'm actually going to go to 2 McLarens. If I didn't say them already, I'm going for the 2 McLarens.
My prediction is going down the drain. I said Lewis Hamilton for the win, but
we're gonna have a Stroll from P20.
Yeah, we just discussed Stroll's going P20 to P3.
Fair. Except I don't know, man. It's just I'm traumatized as a Ferrari fan. I want them to succeed, and they keep destroying my expectations week after week.
I mean, we are talking about one of the best talents on the grid at the moment. And the guy who's probably the best in the wet condition. The other one is Lewis Hamilton in the bottom 5 as well. But all right. Well, now I've got a little on the spot. You guys are going to be put under pressure now. One of you's taking the sprint race, and that is Pigeon. The other one's taking qualifying. There's 30 seconds on the clock, Pigeon, and it's time for your 30-second sprint race review. Are you ready?
No.
We will go 3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, after the start, you see Verstappen pull a move. You see Leclerc pull a move on both McLarens. You love to see it. Then we had about 13 laps of absolutely nothing happening. Just a big train with the top 3 running away. Verstappen eventually taking the win. That's the entire sprint race. Nothing else happened.
And you've done that with 5 seconds to spare. So it's Pigeon's 25-second sprint race review. It's back next week. Well, it's not. We haven't got a sprint race next week. It's back for the next sprint race.
I'll do a sprint race review anyways.
Yeah. We'll do a F2 sprint race review just for the fun of it. It's the only reason you're going to be in the next one.
Thank you.
Now, again, another 30 seconds goes on the clock. It resets. It's time for Dogra's 30-second qualifying review. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, we'll go in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Absolute disaster for Alpine. Absolute disaster for Aston Martin. Great weekend for Bortoleto. An average weekend for the McLarens and Verstappen. Happy to see Charles in P4. 4 Red Bulls in the top. That's about it.
You've got 10 seconds spare and you already got the wrong position for Charles Leclerc.
P3, sorry, okay?
What you wouldn't have seen is me and Pigeon are both sat in the background doing that.
Yeah, exactly. I noticed it too late. I thought that was Pigeon saying that you have 3 seconds left.
I'm not counting. That's not Kevin's biggest part.
I'm cutting out your correction of P3 and it's staying as the fact that you've just got it down as P4. So everyone's going to think that you're wrong.
That's on me as a Ferrari fan.
Yeah, disappointment tomorrow. Well, maybe not in the sense of Charles Leclerc, but the disappointment for Lewis Hamilton.
Leclerc, if we ever meet, please remember that I believed in you. It's Ferrari.
There's probably more disappointment for you tomorrow when India lose the test match, but this is the fastest pit stop, not the fastest cricketer, so we won't get further into that. But
okay, now a really important question. Will we see the wets tomorrow?
Oh, you'll see them for the 3 laps we have under the safety car before they call the race off.
Fair enough.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it happen. But
I mean, they're not going to do 3 laps anyways because the rules have been changed since that.
Yeah. But if you want to, they are improving the wets. If you want to read about that, the fastestpitstop.net link is down below. Read my article on it.
Shameless shelf plug.
Absolutely shameless. No. I think that is a good time to call the end of the podcast, though. We're gonna name it the Saturday review because it's not qualifying; it's a sprint race as well. And then tomorrow we look ahead to the big Sunday. We've got the main race, 44 laps with potentially rain as well. So it's completely unpredictable. No one knows what's going to happen. But we're all looking forward to either seeing 3 laps behind the safety car or 44 laps of intermediate racing action because we don't want the wets because they can't race on it.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed it, Like, it helps us out massively. Comment below what your predictions for tomorrow are. You've seen qualifying. Let us know who you think is going to win the race and who's going to be in the top 3. And do you agree that Stroll's going to be there? Even I don't, but it's there now. Please subscribe as well. Turn on the notification bell because there is another podcast coming tomorrow and we've got plenty of content coming up throughout the next few races and for the rest of the season as well as we see out 2025. From Dogra and from Pigeon, I'm sure it's goodbye.
Yeah, actually it is.
And as a magic trick, I will take off my clothes.
And I'm going to start talking so it takes me onto the front again. I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll see you in the next podcast.
Maybe you should have done